Marissa Carter here from Carter Beauty and Cocoa Brown Tan. Beauty is my profession, but my garden is my obsession. Hello lovelies, this week I visited Arboretum in Kilquade to pick up some shade-loving plants, and I hope it gives you plenty of ideas on how to brighten up a dull, dark or shady spot in your garden. First up is the Japanese maple. Now this does come in all different shapes and sizes, but the one I chose is called an Acer palmatum atropurpureum, and this one will only grow to about 2 meters high or 6 foot tall. It has deep burgundy leaves with a hint of red that in the autumn will become even more vibrant, and the leaves are kind of a fan shape and they will drop, so it's a deciduous tree. It will lose its leaves in the winter, but it's just the most beautiful scroll stopper of a small tree, and I planted mine just above, sort of in amongst lots of different types of ferns that I have in a wooded area in my garden. And one of the great things about acers is that they usually grow very well underneath larger trees, which gives your garden a lovely layered effect. The second shade-loving plant that I picked up in Arboretum is the Fatsia japonica, and this has dark green shiny leaves, and it's known for its evergreen foliage in that it won't lose its leaves in the winter. They will stay there all year long. The bold foliage I think looks great when planted next to more delicate foliage so that you get a bit of contrast. What I did was I planted it underneath the shade of a maple tree, and in the autumn you will get gorgeous cream flowers from this, and then they will be followed by small black berries. The third shade-loving plant I picked up is the hydrangea. There are about 30 different varieties of hydrangea out in Arboretum, so you will be spoilt for choice. The particular one that I picked up is a white one, and my plan for it is to put it in a north-facing aspect of the garden in a pot where it can bloom its head off from now until autumn. My garden is full of ferns, all different types, and I couldn't resist picking up another one when I was out in Arboretum. So the one that I picked up is called Dryopteris erythrosora. And what I love about this is when the young fronds emerge, they are like a coppery red colour, and then they gradually turn pink and then silvery green. And it just gets prettier and prettier and prettier as it ages. It loves plenty of water, so if you have an area or a spot in your garden that's in the shade and it's also quite damp, this is a wonderful, wonderful plant to put into that spot. No shade border is complete without a hosta plant, or many hosta plants in my case. They are a perennial, meaning that they die back into the ground and disappear over the winter. And then in the spring, new fresh growth emerges, usually bigger and bolder than the year before. They are usually planted for their bold or dramatic leaves, and there are many, many different variations of hosta plants available in Arboretum. Now let's add a punch of colour. Heucheras come in many different shades, and I chose a variety called Coral Tea, which has a lovely coral peachy colour. The leaves are bold and so interesting looking, and then the blooms are very airy and look really, really beautiful beside astilbe and ferns, which is exactly how I have placed them in my garden. I have a real soft spot for fern-like foliage, and the astilbe plant has truly stolen my heart. Not only does it have the fern-like leaves, but it has feathery plumes that just look really elegant and delicate, and it comes in lots of different colours, but I chose a white creamy colour, and it likes plenty of water and will die back during the winter and then come back again next spring. One of the best ways to make your shade border interesting is to have lots of contrasting plants. I love begonias because they bloom their heads off all summer long, and I planted mine a salmon pink colour in between, sort of dotted in and around Japanese Hydrangea grass. The grass is a chartreuse bright green colour, and then the begonias have dark green leaves, and I love that contrast. Last but by no means least, impatiens. They will add an explosion of light and brightness to any shady spot in your garden. I hope that this has been helpful, and I hope that you enjoy brightening up any shady spots in your garden.